guys. So we're gonna do some upside down. I'm just trying to fix this, the position of this. We're gonna do some upside down talk today. So I hope you like my, hello. I hope you like my setup over here, darlings. I'm trying to see if you can see the whole picture. Can you see the whole picture? All right, we'll see. A little crooked. All right, so upside down. We want to talk about going upside down, or do we? Or do we? There's some things I want to talk about going upside down. In yoga, in life, yada, yada. There's health reasons to go upside down, and there's things to remember to be careful about going upside down. So we want to remember all of those things, but be informed. So we're going to try and become informed. I have a chalkboard here. I'm thinking I might use it. Okay, so here's some reasons. We're going to go over the reasons why it's beneficial to go upside down with your body. First of all, in yoga, it's called an inversion. So inversions are when your head go below your heart. Okay, so if I'm standing, lost my earpiece. If I'm standing up, right, my head is above my heart. If I'm bending over in some form, then my head is below my heart, and that is when I'm technically in an inversion. And we're going to do I'm going to show you some inversions. I'm going to talk to you about inversions and why they're good. I'm going to talk to you about why we need to be careful about doing inversions, etc. And please chime in if you have anything that you want to share about inversions, if you have any kind of experience with them, how you feel about them, etc. A lot of people are kind of afraid to do inversions, so it really depends on what kind of inversion you're doing and how it feels. Okay, so number one, it feels good. Inversions feel good. Why do they feel good? It increases your blood circulation in your body. Okay, so if you're upside down, it's literally moving the blood circulation, the blood. So you are helping to improve the circulation of blood flow. It's an ease on your heart. So your heart, all day long, think about this, is pumping blood throughout your body, right? It's working all day, and it's going against gravity. So it's pumping blood, it's sending blood down to your feet, and then it's pumping the blood back up from your feet, and then it's recycling and then going back and all over the place. So when you're upside down, it's going to help the blood flow from the feet down towards the heart with ease. So it's going to give your heart a little bit of a break. It's very nice. It decompresses your spine, right? So if I'm upside down, I'm decompressing my spine, which is being compacted most of my day because I'm upright, right? Or I'm seated, right? But my body is in this position, so it's compressing my spine. So when I go upside down, it's helping to decompress the spine. Good stuff. It's helping to move blood from the pelvis towards the heart. And then from there, it gets sent to the lungs, gets oxygenated, and then it moves throughout the body. Pretty cool, right? Energizing. It's very energizing, right? Because we have this blood flowing to the brain, and it's helping to wake us up. So it's giving us more energy. And the most important, maybe not the most important thing, but one of the most important things to remember is the lymphatic drainage that it helps give us. We have in our body hundreds of lymph nodes, hundreds, all over the body. So 500 to 600 lymph nodes are distributed throughout the body. And there's clusters of lymph nodes found in certain areas of the body. Under the arms, in the groin, in the neck, in the chest, and in the abdomen. Okay, there's clusters of lymph nodes. And the lymphatic system has trouble draining naturally. There's really no natural pump for the lymph nodes. So when we go upside down, we're helping the lymph nodes to drain lymph fluid from the nearby organs and areas of the body. So basically, whatever waste we have goes into the lymph, and then the lymph is trying to drain that waste, those toxins, out of the body. So by going upside down and inverting, we're helping those lymph nodes to drain, okay? Danica! Oh my gosh! Okay, so those are the top reasons why inversions are good for you. I'm gonna talk about the different kinds of inversions that you can do yoga-wise, but also just kind of lifestyle-wise, if you want to add inversions into your daily routine. No, the lymph nodes are not only in the neck. Oh my God, now you learned something. It makes me feel so good. So these are the things I want you to remember, okay, about going upside down. Health-wise, this is what we need to be looking for. In other words, don't do upside down poses in yoga or in life unless you consult with a doctor or a professional if this is going on in your life. These are the things. Are you ready? If you've had a recent neck injury, in other words, come on, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You're gonna stand on your head? You just had a neck injury? Come on. Glaucoma, okay? So if you're going upside down and you have a lot of pressure, blood pressure going to your head, you wanna think about that if you have glaucoma. Maybe don't do it. Or maybe find a more gentle inversion, and I'm gonna show you something, and it's very exciting because it's a little bit less pressure on your eyes and in your head, okay? So detached retina, that's another one. And you are so welcome. You're so welcome for teaching me that. If you have unmedicated high blood pressure, okay? If it's unmedicated. If you're medicated, okie dokie. If it's not medicated, you might not want to put more pressure going towards the heart, okay? Causing more blood pressure happening in the heart area. If you've had a recent stroke, if you have some heart conditions, if you have a heart condition going on, there's some that are going to be a contraindication to going upside down. So typically with the heart, you just want to watch the pressure. You don't want to overload the heart with pressure by sending too much blood too fast to the heart. Okay, so we're going to talk about different kinds of inversions that you can do, and some more on the safe side than others. And I apologize in advance, but you might get a butt shot. I do apologize for that. Okay, so a couple of things. I'm going to turn my mat here so you can see. Or maybe not. Maybe I won't turn my mat. So downward dog. Downward dog is considered an inversion because your head is below your heart, okay? So what is downward dog? If you don't know what downward dog is, it's hands in front, legs behind, and your butt is lifted up. So your head is down. See, my head is hanging. Hopefully you can see that. I'll turn to the side so you can see that as well. So this is downward dog. This is your inversion, number one. Inversion number one. This is gonna be a quick Instagram today. Here's a chair. Here's a nice gentle way that you can invert in your chair, okay? Remember, the head below the heart. So I'm just gonna bend my body forward and drop my head down. So these are the most gentle ways that you can go into an inversion, okay? So we did downward dog. Now I'm sitting on a chair, I'm just hanging my body. Head hangs. Ah, that feels good. I don't think I want to come out of that. Okay, so that's another one. Then we have headstand, we have shoulder stand, we have handstand. I'm gonna go through those three with you. And if my earpieces fall out, we'll see how that goes. Now headstand, can we talk about this for a second? Because it's really important. People who do headstand drives me totally insane, okay? Because a lot of people, hi Grandpa! A lot of people are going on their heads and they're getting injured. So why? Why are you going on your head and getting injured? Please tell me. I mean, I see pictures all the time on social media of people on headstands. It drives me absolutely insane, okay? Because this is the latest thing that I've been seeing. And I'm not even gonna show you this because I can't even do it and I'm not gonna do it and I would never do it. They're going on their head without any support. So in other words, this is one picture I recently saw was somebody upside down on their head with their arms like this. Okay, so picture me upside down on my head and my arms are up my body towards the ceiling. Why would you do that? Another one is the head, you're in a headstand and your arms are out in front of you instead of support. Oh my gosh, I can't even, I'm gonna go on and on about this and I don't want to, but my point is, if you're doing a headstand, in order to be inverted, why do you have to go to an extreme like that where you could get injured? Why? So, you know, for many years I did headstands. A headstand in yoga is really a shoulder stand because you're using your arms, you're really pushing strong with your arms, okay? But when I teach classes with headstands, I'm very careful to talk about using blocks, okay? Which is really, why not? Why not use blocks? It's so easy, and not easy, but it's so much better if you're just gonna do if you want an inversion, I'm trying to talk here. If you wanna just get into an inverted position with your body, why not just use the support to do that, okay? So I'm gonna show you the headstand with the blocks. Here are my blocks. And I'm apologizing again in advance for the butt shot that's coming up. All right, so we have the blocks and they're about a couple of inches away from the wall. And I have enough space between the blocks just for my head, okay? That's a big head, woo! So I have enough space between the blocks for my head. Now, when I come down, I want my hands to be where I can see them. So my head and my hands are gonna create a triangle, okay? So this is the top of the triangle, the hands are the bottom of the triangle, all right? When I lift up, I might not even get my legs up the wall if this is a new thing for me. I wanna really push down into my shoulders, really strong, okay? And my hands. Okay, thank you, Ann. And then maybe I just practice lifting one leg up, right? Until I can get two legs up. This is also a core exercise. So the more you can exercise the strength in your core to get you up there. Thanks a lot, Ann. Thanks a lot. All right, so I'm gonna show you this. Try to give you a bit of a side angle. A bit of a side angle. Move the chair. So here I have my head in between the blocks. My blocks are not right up against the wall because then my butt is gonna hit the wall and that's not gonna be good. All right, so I want some space for my boot tag, all right? My hands, again, what I said is the bottom of the triangle. Top of the head is the top of the triangle, okay? So I wanna sneak my head, I wanna slip it right in between the blocks. And then I have my shoulders on the blocks. Okay, so look, I can see my hands, they're the bottom of the triangle. I'm pushing my shoulders down to the blocks. I'm gonna walk my feet, tippy-toe them towards my face, and then I'm gonna lift my legs up towards the sky. So this is a tripod headstand. I'm pushing down with my hands, and I'm pushing down with my shoulders, and I don't want a lot of pressure on my head. So I'm pushing as much as I can with my shoulders and my hands. Okay? Coming out of the pose, just as important as going into it, come out slowly. I didn't just demonstrate that very well, but you want to come out slowly, okay? So lifting up, if you're there for a long time, you want the blood to have time to drain down from the head into the body again, okay? So that's one way that you can do headstand. I'm not going to go over all the different ways for headstand because we're just talking about inversions today. That's one way that you can do an inversion. So we went over headstand, we went over sitting in a chair, bending forward. We did downward dog, forward bending. Okay, this is an inversion. Your head is going below your heart. Forward bending. So you can just hang, you can bend your knees deeply, you can grab either elbow and just allow your spine to decompress. Breathe into it, let everything feel good. Good. You can also come into a shoulder stand. What do you need to remember for a shoulder stand? Give room for your neck. Okay, you want the neck to have some room. In other words, when I come up with my legs, I don't want this to happen with my head and my neck. I don't want to crunch it. I don't want to just completely give no space to my neck. I want to give some space there. So how do I do that? I take a blanket and I want to make it like so, right? And then I'm going to put that on the floor. One way that you can practice shoulder stands using the wall, which is very delightful, is laying down. Here's my blanket. I want my head to come off the blanket. Okay, so my shoulders are going to be on the blanket here, and my head is hanging off. So this gives me a little lip for my shoulder to my neck space. Okay? So when I lay down, I want my butt right up against the wall. This is the technique to come into this. And you're going to lay right down. We're practicing shoulder stand using the wall. Okay, this is an inversion, a type of inversion. You're going to bend your knees, plant your feet on the wall, lift your hips up. And once your hips come up, here we are, hips above shoulders. Hands are going to come to the lower back. I'm going to walk my feet up the wall. I'm going to walk my shoulders underneath my body. And now if it feels good, I can lift one leg up. And then just alternate, switch one leg, then the other. If I feel really good, secure, and my neck feels okay, I can lift both legs. So here we have our shoulder stand. You can also practice plow. Half plow is one leg down, one leg up, or two legs down. Okay, so this is plow, this is shoulder stand. If you're coming out of shoulder stand using the wall, the feet to the wall, the hips very slowly lower down. Ah, good. Another posture, which is extremely popular and very good, is legs up the wall. Very simple. Get your butt into the wall as close as you can and keep your legs straight up the wall. If you want even more of an inversion while your legs are up the wall, you can use a block or a cushion or a folded up blanket, slide it underneath your sacrum, and now you're lifted, giving more of an angle for blood flow to come down from the legs towards the heart. If you really want to drain your lymphatic system from the leg area, right? So we talked about the groin being an area that has a cluster of lymph nodes. You can pump your feet, so your legs can come up and you can just pump your feet like this. And that's going to help pump your circulation towards your heart. Okay, so that's a very popular thing. Lying down with your legs up the wall is very popular. Very popular. Okay, so we talked about plow pose, shoulder stand, handstand. Oh God, handstand, my ultimate nightmare. Handstand. But it's just another form of inversion, okay? So if you're doing handstand, you can just practice it. Sometimes using the wall for handstand is also very good because you can walk your legs up the wall, okay, with your hands down the floor. You can also work on kicking your legs up the wall for handstand, which is nice. So if you're doing that, you can come away from the wall with your hands and just give a kick and bring your feet to the wall, straighten out as much as you can, lift a leg, and then maybe the other leg. And there's the wall, it's always there to help you practice. If you're not facing the wall, you want to practice handstand, similar kind of thing, okay, hands in front, your legs come up the wall, my mat might slip here. And you're just lifting one leg up. And you can alternate. Okay? So it doesn't really matter too much what kind of inversion you decide to do. Another thing people like to do is hang over a railing. We're getting really creative here. Or if you have a silk that hangs from the ceiling, that's a nice way to do an inversion. So any way that you can get your head below your heart, but remember, the level of intensity that you decide to do is really going to depend on your body's condition and what your body is telling you. Don't be too afraid of it, okay? Especially for the gentle ones, legs up the wall, sitting in a chair, bending over. Monitor how you feel. If you feel a lot of pressure happening somewhere, back off a little bit, don't do it. You'll feel like the heart kind of like pumping too hard, you know? That shouldn't happen. If that happens, that's a sign that maybe you shouldn't be in that posture, that movement. So really it's a lot about listening to your own body and how you feel. But if you can stay in an inversion for, you know, count the breath, maybe 10 breaths, 5 breaths, whatever it is. The more gentle postures, laying down with your legs up the wall. That could be 5 minutes, 7 minutes, right? Because that's very gentle. But monitor your own body, learn about your own body. Thank you. Emma, you're so sweet. You know, and just really listen to your own body and what you need. Inversions can be fun, but they can also be dangerous, especially if you allow your ego to come into it. So very important, okay? Which, coming upside down, have fun with it. Know the benefits of it. Let it feel good. But a part of it is not crossing a line where you could injure yourself. I hope you guys learned something today. Anne-Marie, I know you learned something because you said you did. So that makes me happy. If you have any questions or if you want to do more inversions in a safe way and you don't feel like you know enough about it, reach out to me and let me know, and we can have more of a chat about it. We can extend the chats. Isn't that exciting? And you can always catch this replay and more on Kara Yoga on YouTube. Please go and check that channel out and subscribe to it to support what we're doing. Really appreciate it. Okay, have a great rest of the day. And if you have any questions, let me know. If there's a topic that you're interested in talking about or learning about in any way, health, life, wellness, let me know. If you have something that you'd like to offer, please let me know. Please. Then we can chat together. Have a great rest of the day, and namaste.